Okay, y'all, I'm back with on these little mason jar minis that we've done. Now, I went in, I did embellish on these. I haven't even embellished this one yet, and I don't know that I'll go through and do that, but I didn't get the part where I cut out the embellishments and things like that. I will show you though what I used, and if I can still find them, I'll link them in the description box below. So, and I know these have a glare, so let me see if I can't do it without. Okay, so mason jar, of course, that one. I used these flowers here. I believe I got these off of Amazon. I used this one. I got that off of Amazon as well. And then I used this, and then these two little like frame things here. That's what this bit is. So I got those off of Amazon also. And then I have some of the doilies that I only used, I think, maybe one or two. I can't remember. And then I did cut these out. And then I use these labels. I still have the butterflies. I didn't actually use those in there. But just, you know, because it's on here. And I have those labels. Okay. So those are the things I used. Just cutting out. I didn't even go in and use the little jar. And I should have. I might. Who knows. So on these, I cut, I'll just start with this one. I cut my flowers out. Now these are out of vellum. I have some that are just regular paper that I inked. And I used Distress inks and Distress oxides. So I used, this one is Victorian Velvet that I did on the solid paper. That's oxide. But then on the vellum, I inked those up and I just put them down and inked it anyways. You know, with my blending tool. Faded Jeans is the one that I used on here because I don't have Stormy Skies in the inks. I only have the Faded Jeans was the closest color that I feel like I had. And then, yeah, so like that is, I don't remember which one's which, to be quite honest with you. I think that's Faded Jeans because I had this like already out on my thing. Anyways, so those are the colors I used. And then I had some ribbon already, you know, like in my stash, so I used it, and I just used ribbon to tie this one together. The centers, this is just alcohol marker. I just dotted a center, and then this one is actually in that little, one of those little things I just showed. And I will, let's see, that's gonna be this bit right here. So mine are still together. I left them together. They're so tiny, and I just cut them all out at one time. Or you can just put, you know, your paper on a certain area. But anyways, I got those. And I used those kind of like for the centers. And I may actually go back in and put a little something there. And then this bit is just some little wooden flat backs that I had in my stash. So I used those. And then on the back side of that, I just put those kind of in the same areas. You can see I didn't cut another label out. I probably could have and placed it so you really wouldn't be able to tell. But I actually don't mind the spottiness of it. So it just depends on, you know, whatever you feel like. So I did that. And then here I just placed that, and I alternated them out. So like, you know, because when you cut them, they'll fit inside each other. And so I just alternated the colors, put that there. And then with the tags, and I know I showed that I was going to back them with the coffee stain paper, but I don't think I actually showed backing them. But I just did. I just took my glue stick, literally rubbed it on my piece of card here, laid it down on my coffee stain paper, and then I just trimmed it out. And then I took my little punches, and I just kind of randomly, I just did different ones for each one. But it turned out cute. And then I took that same, you know, my same old, like my little thing I do here with the crochet thread and the thing. That seems to be my same way I do every tag because I just think it looks so pretty. All right, and then I just went through with these flowers and put them kind of just, you know, randomly on here using that little label. Of course, it doesn't have the inside. You could fill that in and write on it like that. The little, well, we'll pull this one out. It'll be fine. Like these, same thing. I backed those. I just used my tab punch, put that tab on the side so that it was easier to pull, you know, like pull those in and out. And I will tell you guys, I noticed, why? That made that a little tight, but that's okay. I noticed the difference, and I don't know why I didn't notice this beforehand from the one that I did previously, because I didn't do these the same way from that very first one that I did. And that is that on like this, I only used that matte part, you know, to cut the pattern paper out with. And on this one, I actually used the larger one to make the pockets. I mean, I still used the mats, but then I used the larger one to make the pockets so that I would have more room. I don't know why I didn't do that with these. I just didn't think about it. See, I used that same little die cut right there, and this little top like that. I used those for in here. And on here, I noticed these tags, of course, they're larger, so I only glued, like, I didn't glue all the way to the very tip like I did these, so that's another thing, you know, so that you can have more room. Anyways, just something that I noticed. So just know that you don't have to, you know, do it like this. You can still add your pockets that way and then add your little tags and things in. And so like I had a little one to this side. And this is why I was telling you I thought that on these I put all the tags coming out to this side, because I feel like, excuse me, I feel like it's just a little bit harder for it to come out that way. But anyways, it just, you know, I don't know why. And there's that little thing again there. Okay. And I didn't even do that on all of them, but on most of them I did. So that's a thought. Just saying. And yeah, so I kept these pretty much, they're pretty simple, you know. They're not too big. This is that doily. I just inked it with the pumice stone since I'm using that on here. Same with the labels to kind of just help keep that. And then with these, I actually did use the different punches, okay? This one, I just rounded it. And I didn't even put anything on the back side. And that's okay. I think that one turned out really cute. And then this one, just kind of the same thing, except I used just a different, you know, the scorched timber instead of pumice stone. But this one I did the same thing, backing with coffee stain paper. Used that just to have a tab there. Put that flower. Same thing here. So you could add your little, if you wanted to put a photo, you could just put the little picture here, and you could journal here. And then these are all the same. I think I did all of the top tags with that. Well, no, maybe I think I did. Anyways, it doesn't matter. You can just do them however, which way you want. And then here's that little smaller doily, and I just put that there, and then this here. And same thing with the little side ones. Here I just did it with the pink. That's the Victorian Velvet. And then here using that again, I didn't put the center one in there, and I just put that on to give it a little extra decoration. And I did not mark the back side of that one either. So, and I haven't done any kind of decorating in this one. Well, other than I did do the tags a little bit different. Like in this one, I used just a decorative top. And I have not inked these guys, and I don't know, but I feel like it needs inked because I'm an inker. I just feel like it needs it. but I'm trying to stick with that, not doing that. On these, I use different tabs. Like for this one, I use my little tiny attacher, and I just used some of that ribbon that I had snipped off, you know, like the little extra bits, instead of throwing that away, made a little pull. And then I just took a label, these, I have tons of these, and some of them they printed off the page, so it was already cut, and I just chose one of those. And I put that there on the back side so you can kind of journal on that. And it kind of covers up the staples a little bit. You can still kind of see them, but it's no big deal. I think it turned out cute. Use the decorative corners on that. So it just slides right in there. And then on the back side, I flipped it around and I used a larger one, and I just folded it in half, a larger of the squares. I folded it in half and I used that as a pull tab. And you can still journal on that as well. Write dates, write names, write whatever. And I turned it so that the coffee stain would show to the back side. And then the same thing with this one, except I didn't do the thingy on the back because it was a little bit longer of a strip. So I just did it like that. And it kind of folds over like that. And I could even glue that down, and then you wouldn't even see the what you call it, staples, the back sides. And I don't mind so much seeing them. I just don't want it like scratching tearing the thing up. When you go to put it in and out, you just kind of have to be mindful of that. Okay. And same thing with these tags. I didn't use the what you call it with these either. So like that. And I may end up going in just a little bit more in depth, but I mean, you can do your own decorating. You know, the decorating part is purely comes down to your preference and what you like and that type of thing, and you just use whatever dies and things like that you have. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I've got that I'm gonna use for this little mason jar mini. This is the one I made, oh gosh, I don't know, I guess it was last year sometime, or last year, I guess. It's sad, I don't even remember when. But anyways, I've been having some requests to show how I, put these together. So I thought I would just do a quick one and show you. And so first, this is the die that I have that I'm going to use. It's the only jar die, well, the largest jar die that I have. I have some smaller ones, but the biggest one. Off of Amazon. So I will check and see if it's still there. If it is, I will link it in the description box below. And I'll see if I can find, like a equivalent version or something like that. It may not be this exact one, but I will see if I can find one, and it should work the same. Next is, I guess I can show you what paper I'm going to use. And I am using this big old pad here, which obviously you're not going to need all of it. But I've had this one in my stash for a while. I'm pretty sure got that half off at Hobby Lobby. I just ran through, picked some of the patterns that I really liked. And yeah, you'll see those. But they're really pretty. And there's there's 20 designs, 3 each. So obviously I didn't use one of every one. Pick whatever papers you like. I'm just doing this because I have so many of them. So I don't feel as, attached to it as I would a pad, that I didn't have a whole lot of. Or it's a great way if you have some, leftover scraps and pieces, or maybe not enough to make a larger album that you can use. That's what I did with this one. And I just kind of went in there because I had a lot of the ephemera and things left over out of it. So that's why I used it for this one. I'll link the video to this one below as well, so that if you want to check it out, you can. It's just a flip through. Of course, I've already went through and I've cut a lot of my pieces out. I've already assembled a lot, so I'm not going to show you every single thing that I've done, but every single page. And I'm not going to walk through and watch me glue all of that together. So I've got one of each. I got 3 different styles-ish. One of them, I got a little carried away last night, and I did actually put the last one together, and I was watching TV anyways, and before I knew it, I done had the last one glued together. I'm like, no, but that's okay. It's pretty easy. And I'll do a little quick one for you. Okay, so I'm also using this, oh my goodness, it's too early in the morning, metallic paper, silver metallic paper. This one is the Hobby Lobby brand, so I'm using that for the top, for the lids. And then I'm using the craft cardstock. That's what I'm using for my base of my jars. And then, of course, there's the leftover bits that I had cut off some of the papers. So, just a variety. They're so pretty. Okay, it's soft. Okay, alrighty. Got those, got that. So, let's just kind of dive in, I guess. So, these. Without dropping it all over the place. Alrighty. And then this one, okay? And then, of course, there's all my little leftover bits and pieces and things like that, okay? So, for the one that I did in the album, for the first, this one that I did, right? I just used little strips of cardstock and made little hinges to put them together. For the little lid parts, you have to do the same thing. So let me just go ahead and cut an extra one of these, because then that'll explain this as well, okay? So what you're gonna need is your, well, obviously your jar base, okay? So you're gonna go through and you're gonna cut however many of those out that you want. I think I have a total of 13 here, 12 of the craft, and then I also have one that is a acetate piece. Now, I will tell you, your acetate piece, this one was really thick. I actually cut it, and then I had to cut it out with scissors because it was a little too thick. And I just got this from some packaging. So it's kind of scratched and stuff, but that's okay. That doesn't really bother me. But you don't want to use one that's like, you know, like too flimsy, and so just, you know, plastic. But you could use leftover scrap things. You got packagings, that type of thing. Okay, let's see. The die. So this is going to be for the little inner one right here. So we need this one, okay? And a piece of paper. Let's see, what have I got here? This one I had already picked out. And I have a pink shade and that pretty one there. So let's do... so I went through and I just cut some of these down to size. And then we'll probably use the rest of these to make tags and whatnot with. Let me kind of see. What have I got on the front side? So I got different little ways. Oh, I think I need another pink. I covered like a lot of those up. Okay, let's see. Pinky, pinky, pink. Let's go with... maybe. Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, we'll just go with that. All right, so to cut it to mat the back side, I mean, it's pretty simple. You're just going to flip it over and you're going to cut it this way. Okay, so I'm just going to lay that in there with my top bit here. And then I'm just going to run that through. And I know when I try to go slow, that way I don't shake you all over the place. Alrighty. And then We can trash that bit. We don't need it. And so now it's going to line up here. Now, I kind of wish these had left, you know, not quite so large a border, but I mean, it is what it is. So, you know, really you could just cut out one to mat the actual jar and not even worry about having this mat piece if you wanted to do it that way. If you wanted it to cover the whole thing, that would be an option as well. All right, so cut that little bit out. And so, like, here's what I do when, because you know when you cut them out, the reverse kind of like that, you're like metal, how it cuts in, it'll leave one side as a smoother side, and then the back here, it's kind of a little rough feeling. So all I do is take my little tool and I just kind of run over it to kind of flatten it out, and then it doesn't feel as rough. I mean, it's still gonna, you can kind of tell unless you ink it and that type of thing. What did I just do with that other piece? Oh. So same thing, I just kind of run it over the edges, smooth them down just a bit, and there you go. Okay, so there's those. I'm just going to put it with this over here. And set this to the side. Okay, so then the top part, you do it the exact same way. So like, you have your little piece here. And now I'm going to give you, I could give you measurements. If you have the same one, I mean, you know, I literally just laid it on here. Actually, I took an 8.5 by 11. I cut it down into these little inch strips, and then I just cut those strips in half. I mean, I know you get a little extra on the side here. You could fix it if you wanted to keep that. I'm not really going to bother with it. But you just lay that on there like that to cut it for the front side. And then if you want it to mat the back side, you just flip the paper around and cut it that way, okay? So there's that. Let me put these over here. Set this up. Get that out of the way. Okay. And then, which I've already got mine. I got my pieces for my back side right here. And then I've got these pieces here. Okay. So, what else you're going to need to make it this way with these little hinges. Now, on this one, I'm only doing a smaller amount. I think this one I did like 9 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, nope, 7. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 9. 9 of those. This one I'm only doing 6, okay? So what I did is I cut little pieces of the craft card down to 2 3/4 by 1 1/4. Then I scored at a 1/2 inch and then at 3/4 of an inch. So that gives you that quarter right there in the center. Of course, you could make this little spine piece larger if you wanted to. Smaller would probably be a little bit harder, but it's possible. You do 1/8 of an inch if you wanted to do that. And then, yeah, we're just going to stick it on here and line it up. Now, this was a bit tricky getting them, you know, you just kind of have to work with it and get them straight. So I'll show you what I did. Let me get some glue. I better get this other one. So yeah, I'm going to use glue because I just feel like it'll hold better. I did not ink this one. I did the other one, but I didn't. The other two, I used different inks, so I'll show you that. I don't really have any embellishments or anything like that ready for these. I'm not really sure what I want to do. Okay, so sip of my coffee. Made it. I hadn't even taken a drink of it yet. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm literally just going to put it on here and line it up as best I can with these, okay? Making sure, and mine are not perfect. And then I'm gonna, now it is glue, so it can move. You have to be careful. That's the thing about using glue. You could use score tape or whatever. I'm just gonna make sure I got that where I want it. And you just kind of look at it from, make sure that that's as flush as you can get it. And then I'm just gonna leave that for just a bit. Kind of let that dry a little. Okay. Then we shall put on, yeah, I will need those. I knew I had all those for some reason. I was like, why do I got all these extra ones? That's why. Okay. I need this bit. So if you notice the cardstock craft, it kind of has a color. The back side's not exactly the same color. You know, it's like the front side feels smoother than the back side, and I'm guessing that's just the paper. But I actually like this. It's really heavy. It's from Hobby Lobby as well, if I hadn't already said that. Okay, so this is what's the hard part. Or I feel like it's the hard part. Wait a minute. Now this is the back side. Do I want it on the back side? Yes, I do. Oh. See, now these I put, oh wow, okay. See, I did do this one different as to how I'm doing this one, didn't I? No, not really. So I put it to the inside. That was weird. I don't know. How did I do that? I guess it did go to the inside. Yeah, just like that. Okay. Hang on. It's been just a second since I've done this, so. Okay. So let's just layer down and line it up that way as best we can. Okay, so I'm gonna get some glue on it. The more you get going, the trickier to me it gets. But, you know, you just kind of have to do what you got to do. And I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. Come on, glue. Goodness. The advantages of using tape is at least you don't have to wait forever. Okay. But then if you get it wrong, you kind of stuck with it, right? You could make a template and then like mark your card so that you know exactly where to put it. That probably would have been a smarter thing to do. You know? I kind of just put mine on here and then like kind of line it up with the one, you know, like before it, kind of making sure that it matches at least to some degree. Without sticking over too much like this one is. So let me slide it that way just a hair. And then I just kind of stand it up and kind of just to make sure that they're all, and put my finger on it just to make sure that they're all kind of the same height. The other one I made, they're wonky. They're not all exactly the same. So it's, you know, kind of just is what it is. Okie dokie, like that. And then there you go. You've got your little book. And let me see here. What do you want? I'm gonna set this one up and kind of let it get ran down to the bottom, because if I don't, it'll take forever. Okay. So then going through and adding, oh, I got hairs in it. Okay. Just adding these in. Now I didn't glue them all the way down on every single one, and I did this kind of different, and I just did it at random. Now this one's on this one, I actually took 2 and I tore one in half. So if you wanted to cut extra, you have those extra bits, you could do that, you know. And I actually tore it and then made a pocket. But then like over here, I made a pocket to the side here, okay? And then this one, I think I glued it all the way down, yeah. So you can do that. And then, well, another side pocket there. And then I think I did one to the, nope, this one I didn't. Tore another one, used it. And then, of course, I haven't done these yet, so I don't know if I'll stick with the same thing, maybe. Actually, I do have this little bit left over. Say I have that top piece I tore, and I have this little bit piece that I did. So that might be kind of cute like that, right? Yeah. We'll do that. Or, I mean, it don't have to be on this piece. Yeah, it does, because that's a front. So it does have to be on that piece. The back sides will be different. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through and I'm going to glue the tops on really quick, and then I'll be back with and try to like get the mats done, and then I'll be back with doing the others here, okay? Really quick though, before I do that, because I haven't done this part yet, what I've done, let me show you, because this is important too. When I cut these out, like you can see more on these, how it's got that little extra, well, we don't need all that. So I come right to the bottom part of that curve, and I'm going to cut right over to the bottom part of that curve. And I'm just going to, well, like that. And that, well, that's a little jaggedy there. I don't like it. Okay. And I'm going to do that to all of these. Okay. So I thought I'd get on here really quick and just show you. I'm going to use this last little piece that I had tore here to go on the bottom. You just have to make sure that they line up right, and this one does, okay? So I'm just going to put this one, I'm actually going to make it a pocket too, but I'm going to make it a top pocket. So I'm only going to put glue on the outside edges here. Okay. And I'm just gonna pop that there and line it up as best I can. It's harder to do when they're attached like this with these. Okay, than it is like with the other ones, because they're just individual. All right, and then I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm only gonna put glue down here on these outside bottom edges, and then I'm just gonna line that up directly on top of this. Now one of those I didn't put it down on top. I actually tore the back piece too, and then like met them up. But I mean, you don't have to do it that way. Okay, like that. Okay, and then the back sides, we can go through and put those on. And let's see. Let's kind of start here. Let me figure out maybe, how do I want that to go? Maybe like that. Oh yeah, see, I had the top piece of that one, which we could still use. That would still actually be kind of cute. We'd have to use it on the front side as just a decorative bit, and I might do that. Yeah, I think that one goes good there. Let's do a pink one up against that for this one, and let's do maybe the blue here. And then this one is kind of going to be, so, and that's okay, because we might can do, oh no, it has to be the front side, don't it? Yeah, it does. Dang it. Did I not cut one for this side? I thought I just did that. I might have to cut another one. Maybe I didn't have enough after all. 1, 2, that's 3, 4, and 5. Oh, I guess I didn't. Here, let me make sure I didn't have it in with these. Well, no, because I got all those glued down already. And no, because I only like one there. So, okay, that's a no. Okay. I'm going to have to cut another one. Looky there. Okay. Let me just do that really quick, because I can't count. Actually, I'll do that in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and just pop these down like pocket-wise, and then, you know, the last one, you get it by now, okay? Alrighty, so let's do... yeah, so this one's a side. So let's do this one a top as well. No, I shouldn't have turned it up. I got these little bottles at the Dollar Tree. No, not Dollar Tree, Dollar General. And they're okay. I think they were like $1.50 for 3 of them, so I think. So they're just, you know. But the cap has like this little thing in there, which I will tell you, it's not airproof, or because this one I turned it upside down because I thought, yeah, it'll be easier for it to come out. Well, I left it that way, and it did leak out some. I mean, it took it a while, but it did leak out some. So just so you know, if you get those. Okay. Like that. And then also we have these little bits, okay? These little bits, which are, this one has to go for that. And I'm just going to put this on because it's just decorative. You don't have to, I don't guess, but I'm going to just because. Okay, so now this one, let's do, this one I glued down all together. So you just have to kind of think how your opening is going to be. I feel like the tags will be easier to pull out from the outsides, not from the insides. So I know this is going to go this way. So if I want my pocket piece to be here, I'm going to flip it and do it this way. Put my glue on these edges right here. And you do want to put enough that it's going to hold for when you do stick your tags and stuff in there. Okay. And then for this one, I don't think this is an exact one, but that's okay. I think this one actually went to one on the front, and I didn't pay close enough attention. But if you get these mixed up, it's really not, I don't think it's that big of a deal because they're pretty much the same. Either way you flip them. So it's not too bad. Okay, this one is a Shider pocket. So let's do a top one on this one too. One, two, three, these all have it. And I'm pretty sure those do. But anyways, okay, so let me cut out this one really quick. So there's that with all of those put on. Okay. And then the next thing, I'm gonna go through, I'll show you this one. Okay, so what I did here, cut the jars out like I normally would, did the tops like I normally would. Now I did ink these. I used the new Scorched Timber. I love it. It's the first time I've used it, but I'm pretty confident it might be one of my favorites. I really love the darkness. I love it. The dark brown, brownish black. I don't know. I love it. So what I've done here, cut all those pieces out like normal, and then I cut these little bits to 2 3/4, which is the same height as this one, by 1 inch. And then I poked I did my holes, but this is how I did it. Okay, so I have this one, and it's gonna go to the back side here. And how did I do it? I think I just did it like this. I laid it down. Well, I laid down one jar on top of the other one that already has it. So the first one, I just figured out where I wanted it, and then I just did it this way on the last one. And I'll do it the same way on this one. So I'm just going to line those up, make sure they're lined up as best as I can get them. And then I'm going to lay this down and line it up as best as I can. Okay. And then I just took my pencil and I marked where I want it to go. That way I know to put my glue right inside that. Right inside those mark lines. Now on these, I did this first and then matted. Okay. And then I just line that up right inside those pencil lines. Without trying to slide it all over the place, but giving it a good press, you know. Okay. Like that, and then they line up pretty good. This is probably an easier way than that, or you know, even the next one. This is going to be the easiest, I think. And then I also have little eyelets and things. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and put those in using my Crop-A-Dile. Now, I did the same thing on these. Here, let me use one that's not going to, like, blind you. Except I used my punch to make the little tabs. Let's see if I can pull that over here. I used, you know, this Stampin' Up! Love this thing. It's come in so handy. It's one of my favorites. So glad I found that. Because it had been retired when I found it. So I'm pretty... Of course, now you can get different ones. There's different, I think, different sizes and things like that out there. But anyways, so with this one, I just punched those out. I put them on my first one. And then I used that the same way I did this as a template to line them up. And then I punched my holes in the first one. And I just eyeballed it. And then I just lined that up to punch the holes in the rest to make them match. And, of course, this one was a little bit trickier to get them lined up just, you know, the way I wanted them. But there you go. So, like that. So this is exactly what I'm going to be doing to this. Let's see. Let me get my little eyelets. Okay, so here are these. Difficulties with my eyelets because I don't know how to use that thing apparently. And this is what happens. What do you do to keep this from happening? Don't squeeze as hard. Use the little extra bit that they give you to go with it. I don't know. Anyways, it's fine. I don't use them enough to really know much about them. So, all right, so now we got that on. We can go ahead and attach our little back piece here. Right. And I can't remember. Did I do pockets, top pocket, side pocket, top pocket, side pocket, top pocket, side pocket. So I guess this is going to be a top one. Looks like I kind of went in that direction. So that's ugly. I don't like it. All right. And that dark color, I think it looks really good with these colors in this paper. This paper line. Okay, what this one. And then we are done with all this gluing. Well, but all of this bit anyways. Right. That really bugs me. It's so ugly. Anyways, if you guys know how to not get that to happen, please let me know. I kind of wished I had a different eyelet setter because I've got the Crocodile one, but it's so heavy and like it's kind of harder for me to grip. Maybe I need one of those, what is it, a big bite kind? I don't know. Maybe I need one of those. All right. Now this one I do have, I'm going to use these. I think these are 7 Gypsies. Oh, that's very tight. But yeah, I think so. I had just some of these in my stash. For a while. And the good thing is, like, using this, well, I can always add 2, you know, to make more. I could add a few more pages, depending on how big you want to bulk it up. And then, of course, I have these. And I don't think I have any rings, the color of those. I did these because they kind of match. And I'll have to find some rings for these. I don't know. Or I may tie together some jute twine. I can't even talk, so. Okie doke. Oh, this little thing right here. This came from the little party section from the Dollar Tree. And I got these. I'd seen a video where they were using them for like little storage things and drawers and stuff like that. But these are tiny. And they're kind of, you know, they're angled shaped. They're, I guess, supposed to be decorative. But I got them because I thought, well, that's cute. You can, like, keep little stuff like that sitting on your desk as you're using it so you don't lose stuff. And they come, let's see, like you get a ton, right? And the little thing. So I keep those. I thought that was handy for $1.25. So, all right. So now I guess the thing to do is to kind of decorate. Let's see kind of what we want to do. Oh, before I go on though, this one, if you'll notice, it's different. I did ink it, but I used pumice stone on this one, and I really like the pumice stone with that craft. It's very interesting. Oh, I hate the backs of these too. See, I'm not really good at that. Maybe I pressed too hard. Maybe that's it. You guys have to let me know what you think. That's what I do. Okay, so let's move on. I don't even know. I got to this point. I've kind of prepped for this point. Beyond this, I have no clue. So I have these that have scraps in them that I could use. You know, like that one's a really decent size. This one. Some of these smaller strips, maybe not so much, but I don't even know what all I got in here. You know, I need to go back through it. I need to make me another one of those albums. I loved it. I gave it to my mom. It's one I did, one of the first ones I did, I think, but I don't have it. I'll show you, but anyways. Let's see. Okay. Let me put this. This is the thing that I need to do, guys, is organize and go through and like look through all my bits, because look at all this scrap. That's what I need to do. That's kind of, I think, a chore or a plan to do. So here's some scrap bits. Also, I do remember I had this. I'm sorry, I know this is not very pretty to look at. It's not the prettiest, but look at all of these scraps. Oh, I got all kinds of coffee stain paper. And here I thought I didn't have any, but oh, I love them. Okay, these are a little bit different. They don't really smell like coffee anymore, but let's use these, okay? So I'm gonna keep that little packet hand just in case. And we'll use some coffee stained. Okay, so instead of I know I scored those already, but, and not that I can't, I guess keep those like that, but then I kind of do like to have it maybe different with the places you can journal or do whatever on the back of. I think so. All right, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to trim these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these back in my little thingy over here to the side so I can give myself some room. And that way then I know I'm going to get, you know, 3 out of each piece. And that should be plenty for all 3 of these, I think. If it's not, then I don't know. So these are going to measure 1 3/4, and then we're going to do it by 4. I think that's perfect. Okay. So let me get my trimmer out, and we'll just trim. Let me see. Let me just grab this one. Alrighty. And also, I'm trying to think, like, what am I going to do for embellishments? Because for this one, I didn't, oh, that's not cool. That's not cool. See how it, like, see what it did, that paper? That's not cool. This is the only thing about this kind of trimmer I don't like, because the blades go dull so fast. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, I don't know. Let me try it again. I'm gonna see what this one does. If it does it again, I'm gonna have to move on to a different kind. Let's see. 4. Okay, better. Let's go this way with it, I guess. 4. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I got too big of a hurry. Surely not. And I don't even know. Can you guys even see that? What I'm doing? I don't even think to see if I was in the camera or not. Okay, so to 4. While I've got my trimmer out, let's just check something else right here. Okay, let's go with these. Let's see. Let's see, what size are these? 4.5. So let's go 2 1/4. So let's just try it. 2 1/4. And I think that'll be perfect to go maybe in these little bits. And you may have to kind of well, pooey. Okay, I think it's still gonna work. I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. Okay. So I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna cut these at 2 1/4. That should be plenty, I think, for our little tags things, right? I think so. Yeah. And then for like these side ones, I mean, I don't even care if they stick out because we're going to decorate it. So that works great as well, you know, or even you know, putting it in sideways. You may have to work it just a little bit, but I think that's going to work fine. Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to go through and I'm just going to kind of put them where I kind of want them to go in the pockets and stuff, like where they'll fit, that type of thing. Okay. Really quick before I do all that, I do have these little punches that I got. I got these from Amazon too. I got them in they all came together like this. So you have your little corner rounder. I liked it because it has 3 different sizes. And then you've got like this little tag angle. They have 3 different sizes as well. And then you have 3 different little corner edges. So I like these. So I'm going to be using these as well on here to do my tag shapes, and then even to add rounded corners and that type of thing. Because I mean, everything on here, this whole jar part is kind of, you know, it's got all these rounded edges. So having like these kind of squared edges, and 2, like rounding them will help to put them in the things better, I think. Do it with my right hand. And I know it goes this way, but I see better when I punch it this way. So let's say, let me use this one. Really? Yeah, it does. So, that one's really big though. Do I want to use that one? Or I like that smaller look better. Let's see. We'll go with that for now. But anyways, so I'm going to be using these. Probably will use this decorative one as well. So I'm just going to keep those here handy on my station. And I'm going to get all of that stuff done, and then I'll be back. I think they turned out really cute. And I hope you like them. Hopefully this was a pretty clear tutorial. I feel like I was a little all over the place with it. But if you have any questions, you can just leave me a comment down below, and I will do my best to get back with you or answer those or show whatever I missed. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. That would be greatly appreciated. You can subscribe if you are not subscribed. That would be appreciated as well. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.